Okay, give me a little more, give me a little more. I'm so excited to be here. I've been on the road for so long. I'm so excited to be back in LA because it reminds me of how much I hate it here. I hate it honestly. I've lived here for 10 years. I'm not one of those Fox News people, all right? Not one of those people who's like, the crime and the homelessness. No, I love those things, okay? What I hate about LA, I hate the car culture. I hate how spread out it is, you know? It takes forever to get anywhere. Like, I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in New York. Wonderful thing about New York, you start from any point in that city. You get in your car. You drive for 90 minutes in any direction. You're in the woods. You start from any point in Los Angeles. You get in your car tonight, drive in any direction for 12 hours. You will still be in Los Angeles. You'll get out of your car, where am I? You'll see an In-N-Out burger with a line of cars around the block. You'll see a homeless encampment underneath a Shenyun billboard, okay? Now, you know what's cool? That joke actually works all across the country. Because everywhere has Shenyun billboards. It's a national feature of the American landscape. Americans from all walks of life are going like, what the fuck is Shenyun? What is that? I'll tell you what it is if you don't know. It's actually Chinese nationalist propaganda delivered via dance. The pretty lady goes like this, and you go, ooh, I hate Xi Jinping now. That's what's supposed to happen. I think other forms of theater should use that technique, you know? Wouldn't it be cool if you went to Blue Man Group and you came out a libertarian? Wouldn't that be... They're like, dugga-da-dugga-da-dugga-da-da, and you're like, oh, roads should be private property, I believe. I love getting to travel to do stand-up. It's wonderful getting to visit all these different places, do comedy for them. The worst part is flying, obviously, right? Flying sucks, so as a comic, I've got like a whole kit I use to help me dissociate on the plane. I got my Nintendo Switch, I'm using the Wi-Fi on the plane, right? A couple months ago, though, I was on a flight where I couldn't do that because my Switch was out of batteries and the Wi-Fi on the plane was broken and the outlet under the seat wasn't working either. Oh, guys, this is gonna be a great show. If you're call and responsing my minor air travel inconvenience, oh no, and then what happened? You're gonna be on board with the rest of this set. So none of my devices were working, so I just had to sit there and fucking experience air travel. Just like the worst mindfulness meditation of all time. But because this happened, I noticed something incredible that I never would have seen otherwise. I was sitting in the aisle seat. The middle seat and the window seat were these two older white dudes in their 60s, just two retired Tiger Woods fans. But they were not traveling together. They were strangers to each other. And I realized this when literally 30 seconds after the plane takes off, I hear the guy in the middle seat turn to the guy in the window seat. He looks him up and down, and he goes, excuse me, you have very large hands. Have you ever played basketball? That's how this man opened a conversation. But the other guy goes, why, yes, I played for Wake Forest in 1972. And then these two adult retired men proceeded to have, starting from zero, a conversation that lasted the entire 5-hour flight. I had never seen anything like it before in my life. Well, where'd you grow up? Peoria, Illinois. That's a nice town. Tell me about it. I was like, who the fuck are these guys? I'm watching two adult men make friends? Has it always been that easy? Could I have just been going up to dudes? Hey, you got calluses on your thumbs. You want to play Smash? Apparently so. Halfway through the flight, I'm like, I gotta get a better look at these guys. I peer over, and for the first time, I really look at the guy in the window seat. And I realize the entire flight, he's been cradling in his lap a sleeping corgi puppy. I know, how cute is that? Yet somehow, that never came up in the conversation. No, they discussed everything else under the sun. Their hopes, their fears, what the catering was like at their wives' funerals. Then the plane lands. The guy in the middle seat stands up. He goes, "Well, Ted, nice talking to you." Grabs his bag and leaves the plane forever. And I was like, "No. You must go with him. This is your person. You can't let love slip away again." He ran after him. They opened up a Tommy Bahama together. It was beautiful. It's amazing. It's amazing what you notice if you actually pay attention to the world around you. You know, but it's hard. It's hard to pay attention, isn't it? Like, has this happened to you guys in the last couple of years? Has your attention span like shrunk down to a tiny little peanut? It's fucking crazy, right? I can't focus on anything anymore. Like at the end of a long day of Zoom meetings, my girlfriend will be like, "Hey, why don't we just chill out and watch a movie tonight?" And I'm like, 119 minutes? I don't know if I can make it. Could we take a break halfway through to watch TikToks? I hit pause and sneak away to the toilet. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the stuff. These are just 30 seconds long. Ooh, and each one comes with its own little song. That helps me focus. I think the Zoom meetings are the problem, frankly. It's impossible to pay attention during a Zoom meeting, isn't it? How am I supposed to pay attention when there's a tiny, real-time image of myself on the screen? Oh, good, just a little mirror to obsess over. That's good for the attention span, you know? My coworkers are like, "Adam, are you with us?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys. I'm just distracted by the fact that every day I look more and more like my father." And this is the most eye contact we've ever made. It's gotten so bad, this is true, that I've actually found myself zoning out during sex. Has that ever happened to you? It's embarrassing. Me and my girlfriend will be trying to make it happen, you know, but then my mind starts wandering, and before I know it, she's going, "Hey, buddy, what's up? You've been rubbing the same spot for 20 minutes. And it wasn't the spot you're supposed to rub for 20 minutes. I tried to make eye contact with you, but you were staring off with glassy eyes, like you were remembering the war." But I wasn't. I was just thinking about an email I was worried about. I mean, we're so stressed out by technology all the time. Like, it can't help but draw our attention away, you know? I mean, I'm stressed out by my phone. You know how I know I'm stressed out? I'm too scared to turn on read receipts on my iMessage. Because I'm worried, what if my friends know that I saw their text? Like, who am I kidding? I'm seeing every text. My phone has been welded to my hand for a decade. I have not gone to the bathroom using two hands in 10 years. You wanna see how I go to the bathroom? Scroll, scroll, scroll. Open the door, unzip, pull my dick out. Pee, 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 pee. Dick back in, zip back up, walk to the sink, wash one hand, and leave, all while scrolling the Instagram stories of friends I don't even like. I'm seeing every text. I can just let my friends know the truth. I have a short attention span and their text was boring. They can handle it. I think they can maybe even relate because literally everybody has this problem now. Our attention spans are so short as a society. There's entire forms of media that don't even make sense with modern brains. Like, can we be honest with ourselves as a society about baseball? Please, as much as I claim to love it, let's be honest that baseball is a sport that was invented for 19th century human brains. This is a sport for people whose only other form of entertainment was rolling a hoop with a stick. And then baseball was invented and they were like, wow, what a thrill ride. Ooh, the game's how long, you say? That'll eat up the hours until death nicely. But today, Nobody likes baseball. No one can pay attention to it. We're all wearing the hats. None of us are enjoying the games. And I'll prove it to you. Go to a baseball game and watch how people react when they get more baseball than they expected. When the game goes into extra innings, nobody's happy. They're all like, God damn it, I've already been here for 4 hours. More baseball per dollar. Could anything be worse? If you need proof that people can't focus on baseball, go to a game, watch how people react to the game itself versus to the kiss cam they put on between the innings. People love the kiss cam. They all start shouting at the screen, kiss, kiss, yeah, we did it, we got a kiss, woo! Then the game comes back, everybody goes right back to their phones. I mean, look, I love the kiss cam. I think it's a wonderful institution. I have one problem with it. They never put same-sex couples on the kiss cam. They only ever put men and women on the kiss cam. Why is that? I think it's because they're cowards. And they're worried, what if we guessed wrong? It's not really a gay couple. Just two well-dressed men hanging out. And they don't want to kiss and everyone's embarrassed. You know what? I think there's a very simple solution to this, all right? All we have to do, we gotta change it up, institute a completely fair kiss cam. Let's just point the camera at random duos in the audience. I don't give a shit if these people even came to the game together, okay? Man, woman, man, security guard. I don't care. Let's just point the camera at them and then let social pressure take its course. See if we can make a kiss happen, you know? Because, hey, then best case scenario, people enjoy a baseball game, and maybe they learn something about themselves. Hey, not for nothing, you know, the Dodgers won the game, and I learned I enjoy Frenching Carl, so it's a good day at Dodger Stadium for me. That guy's a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. It's the only accent I'm gonna do tonight. I've never been able to focus on anything my entire life. Even as a little kid, I could not sit still. I was always running around and yelling and screaming. You ever see a kid who has so much energy, it makes you reconsider child labor laws? Adults were like, wow, I think he'd be better off if he worked in a coal mine. This kid's got energy to burn, you know? And don't get me wrong, when I see a kid like that today who reminds me of myself at that age, I have no sympathy at all. I'm like, somebody put that fucking kid in a cage right now. We adults have shit to do. We don't have time for this. And that's what adults were like. That's how they treated me. They couldn't handle me. You know, my dad was this super focused type A college professor. He was obsessed with work. He had this mantra. He would sit me down and he would say, Adam, you need to focus on your objective. Focus on your objective. And I was like, Dad, I'm 6 years old. My objective is spinning in circles and screaming the lyrics to Hotel California. I was a weird kid, okay? I don't know why I did the things I did. I used to bite the feet off my sister's Barbie dolls. I don't know why I did it. I just knew that she hated it, and I loved that about it. Do you guys remember what was inside the feet of a Barbie doll in the early 90s? It was a sharpened metal spike. Yeah, yet another unachievable beauty standard. I was really orally fixated as a kid. I got sent home from school one day for biting the other kids. My parents were like, why on earth were you biting the other kids? And I didn't know, because I didn't know why I did the things I did. So what I said was, they were delicious. Mom, have you tasted Brian F? Mwah, the baby fat, so tender. My parents were like, what the fuck is the matter with our kid? And they took me, this is true, my parents took me at age 8 to a children's psychiatric research hospital to find out what was the matter with me. It was really scary. The scientists there, they put me through all these tests. They hooked me up to machines, electrodes on my forehead, all this stuff, right? The last test of the day was what was then a brand new condition called attention deficit disorder. Oh. We have some fellow sufferers in the crowd. Well, I want to let you know, all right? This was the early 90s. I was on the cutting fucking edge, all right? Nobody else had this shit yet. I was an ADD OG, okay? Put some respect on my name. This is how they tested you for ADD in the early 90s. This was the actual test. A scientist in a white lab coat brought me into an all-white room. And in the room, there were 2 tables set up. One of the tables had a test on it, just like a little busy work bullshit, match the letter to the number test. The other table was piled to the sky with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. Oh my God, they had everything. They had a Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, Shredder, Splinter, Rocksteady, Bebop, the Pizza Wagon. Couple people remember it was a little plastic van that shot little plastic pizzas. Cost like $100. Even Brian F. didn't have this thing, okay? What excitable little 8-year-old boy could resist such temptation? And then the back wall of the room was a wall-length mirror stretching from one corner to the other. Now, you all know what that is, right? You're all adults. You've seen that before. You can probably figure out how this entire test was supposed to work. You're right, it's very simple. I was a little kid. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, hey, what's up with the weird mirror? The scientist was like, don't worry about the mirror. The mirror's not for you. The toys are not for you. All you need to do is sit here, sit still, and do the test. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And he leaves and shuts the door behind him, leaving 8-year-old me all alone inside the testing chamber. I'm a little kid. I have no idea what's going on. I take it at face value. I sit there. I start doing the test. 30 seconds into it, I'm like, this test is fucking boring. I pop up. I run over to those toys. Nah, I'm more curious about this mirror. I walk up to it. I point directly at my own reflection. And to this day, I have no idea why I did this. But I know that I did it. I pointed at my reflection and I said, I can see you. Then I went back to the table and finished the test. 5 minutes later, the scientist came back in looking super freaked out. He was like, how did he see us? Does this kid have ADD or ESP? I expected Professor X to roll in. Good work, Adam, you're on the X-Men. No, I was not, in fact, invited to join a super team. Instead, they gave me pills. They diagnosed me with a very strong case of ADD. And they prescribed me what at the time was a brand new drug called Adderall. Okay, we got some woos for Adderall. A little weird to woo a prescription drug, but you know. How about this? For the rest of the show, if you guys hear the name of a pharmaceutical you take, yeah, you can give a little woo. That can be our show's version of me naming states and cities. How about that? Like, I don't know, we got any Zoloft people in the crowd? Zoloft? Oh, over here. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad to see you're enjoying the show. You know, it's just nice to see a smile on your face. Well, if you've never taken Adderall, and a lot of you have, but if you haven't, Adderall, very powerful drug. I describe it as kind of like Viagra for the attention span. You know, your attention span's all floppy. By the way, no woos for Viagra, okay. There's at least a couple liars in the crowd. Okay, well, Adderall is the Viagra of the attention span. You know, your attention span's all floppy, you know. Can't really get it up for your homework. Embarrassing, you know. Pop an Adderall, though. Bam! 5 hours of attention, rock hard. Just one problem. Just like with Viagra, you do not always have control over what it is gonna be drawn towards. Know what I mean? Like, all right, tonight I gotta study for my math test. Not tonight I gotta alphabetize my Nintendo games. Arkanoid, Blaster Master, Mega Man. I didn't have a lot of games, all right? There were some gaps in the alphabet. My grades actually got a little bit better from the Adderall, but things got a little dicey when I got older and I realized I could snort that shit. Yeah, that was a problem. I was back in my bedroom cutting lines with Pokemon cards. Yeah, snorting it off a Trapper Keeper through a fruit roll-up. I'm glad you guys like that. That's my favorite joke in the show, too. Yeah. Maybe some of you were confused, though. You might have been wondering, you know, why can you snort Adderall, right? Because you can't snort most drugs a doctor gives you. You know, you can't snort aspirin. You can't snort birth control. Sure. Yeah. Woo while you can. You especially can't snort it if it's an IUD. That's a trip to the emergency room. So why can you snort Adderall? It's because Adderall, which I want to remind you, is one of the most commonly prescribed children's drugs in America today, is nothing but pure amphetamines. And you might recognize... You might recognize amphetamines. It's what comes after meth in methamphetamines. And they do not tell you that when they prescribe it to you. They don't even tell your parents. Shouldn't they tell them? Shouldn't they at least be like, your son has been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. Have you seen Breaking Bad? That's what we're gonna give him. The pills are gonna be blue, just like on the show. They really were. I mean, look, I'm no anti-drug prohibitionist, right? I don't have a problem with giving a kid a powerful drug, even one that's used illegally sometimes, if it's gonna help treat a difficult condition. I just wanna know, why was that the first drug they tried on me? There's a lot of other drugs that could have worked, you know? Sure, I'm 8 years old, you give me amphetamines, maybe I work a little harder, but if you give me mushrooms, you guys want to hang out after the show? Because you guys are cool. If you give me mushrooms, maybe I realize I don't need to be working at all, man. I can just be. And you know, I think that would have been a cure too, but no, I was not given that opportunity. Instead, I took pure amphetamines prescribed to me by a doctor every single day for 10 years as a child in the 90s. It was the height of war on drugs. I was sitting there in health class, and the health teacher was like, don't do heroin, don't do LSD, don't do speed. Unless you're Adam, you have to do speed. Adam, you look a little distracted. Do you need to go do some lines in the bathroom? All right, well, hurry up. We got to finish the unit about how marijuana will kill you. Mixed messages back then, you know? I mean, look, I really want to be clear about this. I have a lot of friends who use Adderall. It helps them out. I'm very happy that they have access to it. For me, the side effects were a little bit worse than the benefits, you know? One of the side effects was, It made me grind my teeth in the middle of the night. And I never stopped doing this, so now I need to wear a little piece of plastic called a night guard over my teeth every single night until the day I die to protect my teeth from themselves. All because I took Adderall as a kid. It's a little embarrassing, you know, but there is one thing I like about it, though, which is that my girlfriend wears one too now, actually, and it's very cute. So, you know, now our nightly routine is, you know, we brush our teeth, we floss, pop in the night guard, right? Get into bed, lean over, give a kiss, mwah, turn over, go to sleep, right? But, you know, some nights, you go in for another kiss, right? Mwah, mwah. And then if you're really feeling it, you know, mwah, mwah. And then eventually one of us goes, hey, you know what? And then you know it's on. Oh, everybody knows what's going down when the night guard comes out. Very sexy. And you know what? In your early 40s, you really benefit from having a clear cue for sex. You know, like, honey, you see what I'm doing? Tonight's the night, okay? Can we make it happen? It's been a month. I know it's a little embarrassing to admit, right? Folks in long-term relationships, things start to slow down in the bedroom. You gotta work a little harder to keep things spicy, right? You can go too far, though. You can. I saw a tip recently that you should get your partner a sex coupon book. Little booklet of sexual favors you can exchange for one free blowjob or whatever. Do not do this. Imagine receiving one of these things. Maybe it works once or twice. But mark my words, the day will come, you go to your partner, you're like, hey, honey, I was thinking tonight we could, you know. And they're like, ooh, I'm sorry, I have a headache and it's an early morning, you know, so maybe another time. But I have a coupon. Yeah, well, the store is closed, idiot. I'm not a 7-Eleven. Come back during normal business hours. Okay, what the fuck was I talking about? Attention deficit disorder. Great. Good. Whew. Another side effect of the Adderall, it gave me complete and total insomnia. I could not sleep a wink while I was on this shit. And when I was in college, I was like, I gotta do something about this. This is bad for my health. So I went to the doctor and I said, hey, the Adderall you're giving me is stopping me from sleeping. What do I do? She was like, no problem. I'll fix you right up. Here's your Adderall refill. And here's a prescription for another new drug called Ambien. Oh yeah, a couple of you people know why that was a bad month for me. If you're not familiar with Ambien, very powerful drug. It's what's called a hypnotic. It's supposed to make you fall asleep by putting your brain into a dreamlike hallucinatory state. But unfortunately, that doesn't actually help you fall asleep if your body is simultaneously rolling on amphetamines. So instead of sleeping, I would just stay up and trip balls all night. It's 2 a.m., I'm just cooking my entire dorm a pancake breakfast. Go bang on all their doors. Yo, dudes, you gotta come eat this right away. Mrs. Butterworth says it's an emergency. They come downstairs, they're like, Adam, you just grilled up a stack of mouse pads. What is this? But I'm already passed out, butt naked on the common area couch. It's a bad scene, man. It was a bad scene. I eventually realized there's a much better cure for insomnia than Ambien. It's all natural. You can get it almost anywhere. It's called whiskey. Oh, guys, the story doesn't end well. I started drinking very heavily to help me go to sleep. And then I remember I was talking to a friend and she was describing to me a dream that she had. And I said, that's funny. I don't think I've had a dream in 5 years. And she was like, Adam, I don't think you're sleeping. I think you've been blacking out every night. I eventually realized that I was simply addicted to the Adderall and to alcohol, and that I had to quit both or I was gonna die. And so I quit both of them. I have not used either for years, and I'm sure. Thank you. I'm proud of that. Instead, I've just had to come up with coping mechanisms to get through the day without the drugs, you know? Like, for instance, I got myself a standing desk, and I got one of those wobble boards, too. So now when I get bored during a Zoom meeting, I can pretend I'm Tony Hawk Pro web developer. Just do the world's shittiest stationary kickflip. Whoop! Whoop! I started embracing the ADD more, honestly. Like, I have tics that help me get the energy out from the ADD. I'll show you one of them. It goes like this. Sort of sounds like I locked a kid in the basement, you know? For some reason, letting out that energy helps me focus, you know? Some people call it a tic, some people call it stimming. I call it a great way to stop people from talking to you on the plane. I finally accepted that there's certain things that I'm not good at because of the ADD, and instead I found an alternative, right? For instance, I finally accepted that I will never be able to read a book. Now, to be clear, that has not stopped me from buying books. I love bookstores. I genuinely love them because people don't understand. Bookstores don't sell books at all. What bookstores sell is the fantasy that I might read a book. I walk into a bookstore, oh, imagine me reading a book. Oh, I'd learn ever so many things. I'd walk to the coffee shop with it under my arm, and everyone would say, there goes a smart little boy. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Shopkeep, ring me up. I'm changing my life today. Yeah, infinite jest, here I go. You guys are nerds. Take it home, sit down in my reading chair, open the book up. 30 seconds later, my phone just levitates up in front of my face. How did that get there? I thought I was reading, you know? So here's what I do now. I don't try to read anymore. I found an alternative. Audiobooks. Audiobooks, yes. Audiobooks are the solution to the ADD brain, right? Because listening to an audiobook takes no attention span whatsoever. Listening to an audiobook is just like floating down the river in an inner tube. You just watch shit go by, you know? Oh, there goes some characters. What were their names? I don't know. Doze off, wake up. Oh, it's chapter 42. I'm making great time. And then I get to the end and I'm like, I finished the book. Yeah. My iPhone says 0 minutes left, so I'm learned now. You gotta do what works for you, right? That's what you gotta do. Like, the best form of media for people with ADD, I think, is video games, right? Video games are incredible because they give us ADD people something we cannot get in real life, which is a clear task that is easily accomplished. Like, oh, a task in a video game is so sweet. It's like, I need you to kill 5 goblins. And if you do, you get a sweet magic sword. Fucking done. A task in real life is like, you need to start exercising more. How long's that gonna take? Forever. What's the reward? Nothing. I mean, you might get to play the game longer. I don't want to play the game longer. This game sucks. I have to grind in the gym all day. I didn't get to customize my character. Can I just sell this shit back to GameStop? That's what I call suicide. All right. You can handle it. There's other hobbies that are good for ADD too. One of my favorites that I discovered recently is bird watching. I genuinely love it. It's like all the stimulation helps keep me focused. And also, coming from a video game background, bird watching is like real life Pokemon. For real, for real. The birds are cute. You can collect your favorites. They're weak against rock type attacks. Yeah. You huck a rock at one, it goes right down. I also realized that there's just whole activities that I just shouldn't do anymore because it's dangerous for me to do them with ADD. A couple years ago, I finally quit driving. Oh my God, I am so much happier now, for real. For real, no, I am. I'm not a fan of any form of transportation where I can become a murderer by accident. If I kill you, I want you to know the reason why. I don't want it to be because I have ADD and poor eyesight and I got distracted by a cool billboard. I'm driving along, whoa, the McWhat is back? Pff, another mother loses her son. It was gonna happen eventually. Not on my watch. So now, I take the bus. That is how I get around LA. I took the bus to this very show tonight. Sure, I'm not a hero, I'm a coward, but sure. I love taking the bus. I genuinely love it. But people have weird ideas about public transportation in America. A lot of people in this country wouldn't even consider taking public transportation if they had the means to do otherwise, right? Like I'll show up to a restaurant and my friends will be like, Adam, you took the bus here? Are you okay? I've never taken the bus before. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever met anyone who's ever taken the bus before. Why? I thought those were ghost buses. Ferrying spectral passengers across the river Styx. And I have to be like, no, it's full of normal people like you and me. You could give it a try sometime. It costs $1.75, takes you where you need to go. Then they say something really weird. They say, well, Adam, aren't you worried that it's a little bit dangerous to ride the bus? Ooh. And I can't believe I have to explain this to people, but no, I'm not. Because every single year, tens of thousands of people are brutally killed behind the wheels of their own cars. Nobody is dying on the bus. It never fucking happens. The buses are 100 feet long. They're bright orange. Even drunks can see them. You wanna see what a bad bus crash looks like? It looks like this. Whoa. Open the door, I'm getting off here. That's all that happens. Now, I understand not everybody feels completely secure on public transportation, and that's really real. You know, my female friends will tell me that they're a little bit worried they could be sexually harassed and or masturbated at on the bus. And to that I say, yes, you will be. It's gonna happen every week to a fortnight. But that's why I think it's so important for the rest of us to ride the bus more frequently so that we can improve the masturbator to non-masturbator ratio. Because think about it. If there's more of us than there are of them, then we can be a human shield. Like when I see a guy whip it out, I body block him. I look right at it. No, ma'am. You go back to your novel. I'll watch this dick for you. Let's go, sir. Your stop's coming up. You don't have all day. Tell you what, let me help you out. Glad you enjoyed that. I mean, guys, I know it's hard to comprehend, you know, living in the middle of a car culture like we have here in LA or in most parts of this country. But I want you to think for a second about how fucking crazy driving is as a system of transportation. It makes no sense at all. And we've only been doing it for a couple generations. I have to believe that a couple generations from now, we're gonna have something better, right? People will have self-driving cars. God willing, we'll have better public transportation. I think our grandkids are gonna be baffled that this is how we got around. They're gonna be like, hold on a second, Granddad. You're trying to tell me that in your day, every single person drove a 2-ton metal vehicle at speeds up to 90 miles an hour, and we'll be like, oh, yes, we all did it, yes. Teenagers did it. Alcoholics did it. Dads with undiagnosed rage issues did it. Yeah, we all did it all day long. How did you know that people could do this safely? Did they train you to do it like a pilot? Oh, no. They just gave you one 20-minute long test when you were barely past puberty, and then they just never checked again. Yeah. Yeah, we just kind of assumed you were good until something went wrong. Oh my God, I mean, that sounds really dangerous. Oh yeah, a lot of people died. Yeah, we used to kill each other every day that way. Oh, you'd be driving along and then you'd see a car just like yours smashed to pieces on the side of the highway. Blood running through the streets. Brain matter on the pavement. And you'd say, wow, that's crazy, and then you just keep on driving. That was the price we were all willing to pay for going to Starbucks. Oh my God, well, there must have been some redeeming quality that made you build your entire society around these machines. Was it a particularly cheap way to get around? Oh no, it was hideously expensive too. Yes, it cost tens of thousands of dollars to purchase the vehicle, and then you had to spend hundreds a month to fuel it, repair it, and purchase insurance for it. Oh, you'll find this funny. In my day, most people couldn't afford health insurance for their own bodies, but the government would force you to buy insurance for your Toyota Corolla. Yes. Yes. It was a very stupid time we all lived in. Oh my God, Granddad. Well, if it was so expensive and so deadly, at the very least, you got to be able to tell me that it was a quick and convenient way to get around. Oh. Quite the fucking opposite, actually. Yes, we'd each spend upwards of 3 hours a day trapped in our tiny metal boxes, staring at the motionless rear of the box in front of us, listening to shitty true crime podcasts, and cursing our imprisonment. Well then, Granddad, why on earth did you love these machines so much? Well, they represented freedom to us. And, you know, sometimes there'd be a guy jerking off on the bus, so he didn't want to take that. All right, that was a long joke. You guys don't have ADD. Good job. Thank you. Good job. I mean, you have to do what works for you. That's what I learned, right? Like, I was told when I moved to Los Angeles that you had to drive in this city. I don't drive, I get around fine. I was also told as a kid that I had to take pills if I wanted to get anything done. And it turned out not to be true. Everything I've accomplished that I've ever been proud of has happened since I quit the pills. Like, I built a career as a stand-up comedian. I created 2 television shows. And I didn't do that while I was on speed. I did it while I was raw dogging reality with my dum-dum brain. And I did it by harnessing the power of ADD. See, when you think about it, what is so bad about distraction? Why was I always told to focus on my objective and never be distracted? When the reality is, distraction is a beautiful thing. Distraction is your brain letting you know that what you're doing fucking sucks. And you should do something else instead. And the fact that people with ADD feel that way so often, that's why we always want more. We want more stimulation. We want to have new experiences. We want to visit new places. We want to invent new things, right? ADD can be a superpower, just like I thought it was when I was a kid. The truth is, you just need to overstimulate yourself in order to make that kick in, right? I'll give you an example, all right? I am very proud that I get to inbox 0 every day in my emails. I get to inbox 0 every day. Thank you. You guys have given me too many applause breaks. I'm gonna fucking take that one though, okay? I'm proud of it. People ask, how do you do it? It's very simple. I treat it like a video game. I overstimulate myself. I blast some music. I open that email client, and as soon as an email comes in, I process it right away. You email me, I go open, read, reply, archive, done. You ping me, I pong you right the fuck back. You're like, I need an update from you. No, I need an update from you! You circle back with me, motherfucker! Ball's in your court, asshole! That's my email strategy. It's a little aggressive. Gets the job done. Now, some of you out there don't use that strategy. I'm willing to bet there's some of you in this very room tonight. You're those twisted email freaks. You pull your phone out, you unlock it where your friends can see. They glance down at that little red number in the corner. What do? They gasp. They say, oh, you have 10,000 unread emails? How are you alive right now? Who are you? Show yourselves. Who are you? Right here? How many you have? 19,540. Who can beat that? Who can beat 19,000? You have 43,000 over here. Who can beat 43,000? 49,000 up here. We're going higher, baby. We're getting to 6 figures. Who's got more? 150,000? Give me your fucking phone. You turned it off for the show. We're letting that shit reboot. I'm not going anywhere. All right. Let me see this shit. 157. It burned me. All right, well, we got to delete some of these. Hey, Katie Porter here. You might have noticed that my campaign for Senate. Do you need that email? Okay, we're deleting it. Wayfair says fountains are here. You interested in that? Deleted. This is from your dad, deleted. You disgust me. Us inbox 0 people, we hate you, don't we? Because what are we always saying to people like her? We're always saying, I sent you an email. The information was in the email. Didn't you get the email? And you people are just like, I don't read the emails. I just let them go by, you know? But you know what? I have to admit, as much as I hate you, you're happier than me. You are, because she's just living her life. I spend all day guarding my inbox 0 with a shotgun. Get the fuck off my lawn, you know? But it gets the job done, right? Because I overstimulate myself. And that's the technique that I use. And that's what I want to leave you guys with tonight. If you are ever struggling with your attention span and you're really trying to focus on something, here's what I suggest. You need to find an activity that uses all of your senses at once, right? So that you're fully stimulated, your entire nervous system. When I think about the one time when I was a kid and I could actually focus and sit still and do one thing for hours on end, it would be when I was sitting in the back seat of my parents' car. We'd be on a family road trip. I'd be playing Tetris on a Game Boy and listening to an audiobook at the same time. Yeah. And when I did that, for the first time in my life, I knew peace. Yeah. Because all of my senses were engaged, right? My eyes were full, my ears were full, my mind was full. I was eating some candy, so my mouth was full. And when I'm up here with you guys doing stand-up comedy, the reason this is the perfect job for me and I love it so much is because all of my senses have to be engaged when I'm up here, right? My eyes are full, I'm looking at you. My ears are full, I'm listening to you. My mouth is full, I'm speaking to you. And when it comes to focusing on sex, you know what I do now? I eat ass. Yeah. Think about it. That way my eyes are full, my nose is full, my mouth is full. My ears might be full, depending on how deep I am. Oh, your mind will not wander when you are neck deep in someone's ass. And you know what? That's what I want all of you to do. Yeah. I want you to get out there and eat the ass of life. My name is Adam Conover. Oh my God. Thank you guys. Thank you.